This video is literally one of my favorite videos that I filmed during the 25 days of Shoujo Manga, and we have some good upcoming manga that's gonna be coming our way in 2025. Cannot wait. Hello friends! Happy Saturday! So excited that you're here. I'm containing the 25 days of Shoujo Manga, and if you want to see the calendar, definitely go check out that video as well, and how you can get a Yom of the Dawn free mobile wallpaper for your computer or for your phone or like your iPad, I guess you would say. I am so excited. It's so very beautiful, and just I'm really hyped for this video. I did some research in that I went through all of the Shoujosei license announcements since the beginning. This is the first one I have marked, and that is back in March, at least for my list of my top 10 most anticipated releases of 2025. I don't think I have any josei on this list. That wasn't purposeful. I think I went with whatever gave me the most excitement in that moment, which was hard because almost any shoujosei announcement makes me really excited. But I narrowed it down to the top 10 that I know I'm going to be pre-ordering these. I'm going to be getting these. I wanted to do like the ones I was most excited about, which I knew what the first one would be, but like the list after that was just like, I don't even know. So I went from what was announced first to the like what was announced last kind of thing. So let's go ahead and jump right in because this is gonna be a lot of fun. For number one, I am saying Fall in Love, You False Angels. I'm really excited too that this has been on the K-Manga app for a little bit now, and I'm just thrilled that so many people can try it. I also tried it. I tried it twice because when I first started it, I didn't know anything about this, never even heard about it, but there were so many people excited, and I thought it was like a delinquent manga, and then I read it, or some of it, and I'm like, well, this is not the delinquent manga I want, because they're actually not really delinquents. They're more of like hiding their inner, I was gonna say bad boy, bad girl, but that doesn't exactly work. But basically, both of the main leads are hiding their real selves. They come across very cool, very beautiful, have their whole lives put together kind of thing. But what people don't know is that really, they do have a little bit of delinquent-like tendencies, and they can have a sharp tongue, beat people up, continue on alongside of that, and these two leads ultimately find out who the other person really is like. That is why it's called Fall in Love, You False Angels, because yeah, they're not the angels that they come across to be. So as I was saying before, I tried it the first time, like this isn't what I quite was looking for, came back to it like a month or two later, and I'm like, I love this. And that is why it's on my top 10. And if you would like to try it, again, it's on K-Manga. This comes out next February, I believe. I think, yes, next February, and I'm very excited to actually own it and read further than what I already have. For number two, typically I am not that kind of person that goes with like a name drop from a creator knowing instantly that's an instant buy. I just don't tend to do that because there's some series I'm like, oh, that's an instant buy, and I don't really love it, but yet here I am gonna be doing that ultimately, and that is A Star Brighter Than the Sun. The reason I'm most excited for this is because it's by the same creator of My Love Story and High School Debut, both series I've reviewed on this channel and deeply love, especially High School Debut. But when I knew it was by the same creator, I was like, I really feel like, because this is the one creator, anything I've read, also The Secret of Friendship, which I've reviewed on this channel as well, with all three of these, I have loved each one very much. I've given 5 stars for all three, and I was like, okay, I feel like this creator is an instant buy for me because I've just loved everything that they've written that we've gotten in English. So I knew when we got the license for this, I'm like, boom, done. I'm sold. But what from I have seen that this is a tall girl, short boy kind of romance, though not in the same way I've heard like Lovely Complex. Not quite the same way, because when they're in middle school, our female lead was the tall girl, and you know, he was the short guy in middle school. But when they get to high school, because I think they like one of them moved, they got separated, they meet again in high school, and he is this star, I think, and he is very much taller than her now, and she's not the tall girl that she used to be. I mean, she's still like like tall, but he's taller. And so I think this is like them reuniting, forming feelings for one another. The blurb says you don't have to be a star to shine. And so I'm really, really excited. Very, very curious. I think this is actually her ongoing series in Japan. So it was a huge win. And again, I've loved everything else that this creator has given us. So I know, and there is one. I am blanking on the name of it, but I will leave the cover here. I've seen so many people say they want this. I've even added it to my wish list because I was influenced by so many people saying that they wanted it and had it on theirs. I also would love it. So hopefully we will just get more work by this creator in general. Funny enough, for number 3, I'm going to be saying My Love Story Volume 14, which is also by the same creator, A Star Brighter Than the Sun. And I'm so excited for this. Again, I have a review on this channel of My Love Story. When I saw that that Viz Media had licensed Volume 14 of My Love Story, I was over the moon. I honestly really didn't think we would ever get this in English because I feel like per most of Shoujo Beat, when it comes to their licenses, if it gets Daytime Shooting Star, it has like a spin-off or like a bonus volume. We never got that in English. So I was like, you know, strong chances are we're never going to get it and I'll never be able to read it. But that has changed. That has changed. And the thing I'm most excited about is we get to see Takeo and Suna. We get to see them in college. I'm blanking on the girl's name. It starts with a Y though, but I love Suna. He's amazing. One of my best boys. I love him so much. But yes, we're getting them. They're going to be in college and there's supposedly like a mystery or something that happens. And I'm so excited. I think ultimately this is like the final volume. There's no, that I know of, and please tell me if there is, there's no volume 15 or 16. We just got this like bonus volume when they're in college. And I'm so thankful the creator decided to do that. I am very, very excited that we're getting volume 14. I have no doubts it's going to be really good. I hope it's like just full of the humor that was in the main series. I am trying not to have super high expectations, but they're there, y'all. And I am just over the moon and ready to read this. For number 4, number 1 license win for me when it comes to 2025, and that is Glass with a Chance of Delinquent. No, I do not have an official review, but stay tuned. Something is coming. I'm actually collabing with a very good friend, and I'm very excited for what is to come, so be ready for it. It's going to be coming out in January. So yes, but Glass with a Chance of Delinquent, I love this manga. Literally no exaggeration. If I can, I will leave my reading wrap-up video in the corner of me talking more about this series. Again, kid you not, I have read this manga 6 to 7 times. That week, I read it, reread it, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to move on. As my friend Fire said, sometimes you read series and they just alter your brain chemistry. This is that series for me, y'all. I just kept reading it because nothing came close to how good this series is. Y'all, I screamed when we got the license announcement. I upset my husband, scared my kids, but I was just so over the moon because when I saw this was on K-Manga, which is where I checked it out at, I was so afraid Kodansha would not license it physically or they'd be stuck in digital jail. But Seven Seas, the GOAT, they came through and they said, here you go. And I said, here I am, here I am. I'm gonna be getting it. I've already have volumes 1 and 2 pre-ordered. Y'all, this is just such a good series. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I can only recommend one shoujo manga, it is this manga. You can go on K-Manga and try it. It is a delinquent romance and I really love it. I love Momo and I love Ichikura. I have been keeping up with the chapters as they release. I think it's been about every other month, but every time there's a new chapter, boom, I am reading, spamming my friend Fire, spamming my friend Jess, and we just talk about it and I love it so much. I really love how Momo has this fear of delinquents and who does she end up falling in love with? A delinquent who tries to deny that he is a delinquent because like, I've changed my ways, I'm not one anymore, and he wears glasses to create this different persona, but he has those moments of where he beats people up and yeah, you see how he was a delinquent. So super fun story. I really, really hope that in 2025 that you will give this manga a chance. Out of any manga on this list that I would say, please go try it. Please go pick it up. It is Glasses with a Chance of Delinquent. I love it so much. These characters have a strong and big piece of my heart and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hold it physically in English. I do have it. Oh, it's on my higher shelf. I do have the Japanese volumes, but I want to be able to read it in English as well and hold it. Good times. Again, Seven Seas has been the GOAT manga publisher for me, and this is not the last time you're going to hear me talking about that or talking about them in that kind of way. For number 5, this one is so crazy and I'm so excited. The Otaku Love Connection. I remember when this was announced on for the Manga Up app. And I went on there because I think I just decided to randomly try it at lunchtime. Y'all, I laughed so much. At that time, it was the funniest manga I had read in quite some time. I had such a blast. And then you know what? A few weeks later, because I mentioned in my reading wrap-up video, I'm like, man, I would love to read this physically because it's just so fun and so enjoyable to read. And sure enough, they licensed it. I was like, hello, this was so very cool. And I am over the moon to read further. It's about a young man who feels that he is just not as beautiful or handsome as this couple, this student couple in the student body, I should say, that he ships. It's a beautiful young woman and a beautiful guy, and let's just say the way they look doesn't quite match their personality, and that is where a lot of the humor comes in. I love it. And the main character, because you don't know who you're like, what perspective you're reading from, like you don't know what that character looks like. So I feel like you can form this image until you see them and you're like, hello, you're amazing. And it is just so good. I would highly recommend this if you need a really good laugh. I haven't read much of this on the Manga Up app because I just had such a good time that I was like, I want to read this physically. Like, done deal. I need more. Very excited. This also comes out, I believe, in February, because February is just, and I've talked with friends, we've said February is just a huge month for manga releases. And it's like, please, could you just, scatter them out a little bit? I'm hoping I can use my birthday that month as an excuse to get everything that I want, which is a lot of things. This is definitely one though I am getting very excited that we have it. Again, go try in the Manga Up app, go read it, have a good laugh, and I can imagine I'm gonna laugh even more as the story goes on in that I get to read it physically. For number 6, I am so excited for this one as well. I have said that 7 Seas is the GOAT publisher, but like right under 7 Seas is Yen Press. They have really, really delivered, and this one I was over the moon. I celebrated, and that is the Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, Heir, White Rabbit, and the Prince of Beasts. So this follows the son of Leo and Sarifa. I do have a review on the original Sacrificial Princess manga. Deeply loved it. Was very touched by the themes that were in that manga. It was a very impactful story for me. And so when I saw that Yen Press licensed it was an instant cheer. It was an instant cheer. I have seen different chapters in the Hanatsume magazine, like I said, picked up random ones. I have loved everything I've seen. It has the same action and the same stakes that seem to be in the original series. And I haven't seen many cameos with Sarifa and Leo, but I'm really hoping it's there because I love them as a couple. It was so good. And I'm excited to see what shenanigans our Heir here is going to go on. I can't wait to meet all of the characters because the art style just looks so good and so incredible, just as good as the original series. I have high expectations for this. I think it's a shorter series where it's only like 5 or so volumes. I know it's not more than 10 for sure. So it's not a huge commitment, which does make me sad because I'm willing to give this series a huge commitment. And I have heard that this creator is working on other series. Like there is a shonen manga that they're working on. They recently just did a one-shot in the Hanatsume magazine. And I truly hope that we get more of their works because I think there's a really nice blend of action and humor, romance, and a lot of heart, and sometimes like these heavier themes that I guess you would say I associate with as racism. It was more racism between how the humans viewed beasts and how the beasts viewed humans that I felt was just so relevant to today in the real world that, again, I love this manga because of that, how all these different things came together and made this really strong series that I just, again, deeply loved. And so, ramble aside there, I can't wait to see how am I going to be impacted with this spin-off series, and I'm really glad that hopefully we will see plenty of cameos with a lot of the characters that I deeply loved in the main series and seeing new faces. I have no doubt it's going to be really, really good. For number 7, coming back to the GOAT 7 Seas, Choking on Love was licensed. I really feel like this is another one that many of us thought, well, if we got it from Kodansha, it would be digital only, and 7 Seas came through once again saying, no, we are going to make sure that this gets physical physically printed, and it is coming. I confess, I don't actually know a lot about this one. I really feel like I was influenced. I have seen quite a few images. I've seen even spoilers, and honestly, everything I've seen, I've really enjoyed. This is by the same creator of Living Room Matsugana-san, which I wasn't a huge fan of. I liked it, but it was not my favorite. But I really feel like with Choking on Love, where it's an opposites attract kind of romance, because I know the main girl is like a graphic designer, and then the guy, he is a musician and very free-spirited, excuse me, like very free-spirited, and I just want to see the shenanigans that unfold between them because the romance seems sweet. I've heard some friends say, like, you know, just don't take it too seriously, have a good time, and I love manga where you don't need to take it super seriously and just enjoy what you're reading. So that is ultimately actually why I wanted to put it in my top 10, because I really feel like this manga is going to be a good fit for me. If it's not, you're going to hear me cry later on, so let's hope that it is. Again, I see so much love for this manga, and I'm really excited to be able to try it out for myself and see what goes down between this. She's not stuck up, but I feel like she's more prim and proper comes to mind. I'm trying to think of what's the opposite, whatever the opposite is of free-spirited, like that is who she is. And so I'm curious to see this graphic designer and this musician, their worlds collide, and how that's going to unfold. For number 8, I feel like Seven Seas just blew the Shoujosei community away. It takes more than a pretty face to fall in love. I've talked about this before. I even have a flip through of the visual, I think it's a visual book. It's not an art book. It's like really small, but it was so great. I have wanted to read this story physically. It's been on my physical license list, and it is available in English digitally on Comic-Key, so you can check it out right now if you like. I was over the moon as well when this one got licensed physically. It is about a young woman who goes to this school. She finds out that this hottie, or like he's one of the hottest guys in the school, that he is about to be kicked out because he's just not attending school. And so she's been given this task: hey, increase the school social media followers using this handsome man here and take pictures of him and whatnot to bring in more students and just improve the overall, like, I guess, reputation of this school. And she's totally gung-ho for it. But as you guys probably guess, you know she's gonna fall for him for real. Like, it's not gonna be just about his handsome face and what she could do. No, she gonna have some real feelings. I have definitely looked purposely at spoilers in the Hanatsume magazines, and I love everything I've seen. I am so excited for this one as well. It is drawn really well. I love the characters, everything I've seen. I have no doubts that I will continue to love this series past what I read on Comic-Key and what I've seen. I feel like it's just gonna be a really fun time because, like, I forget the guy's name, but he sort of doesn't show a lot of his emotions on his face, and I feel like that's gonna be part of the story later on of him making more expressions because, y'all, he gotta fall for it. He got to. This is shoujo manga, and so yeah, I'm over the moon for this one as well. Definitely eagerly looking forward to pre-ordering this one. I do know it's available right now, but I haven't done it yet. But y'all, I will be very excited that we got this one as well. For number 9, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's not one I actually ever heard of before, and that is Teppeki Honeymoon. I was looking at some spoilers for this. It's about a young woman. Her family is in a lot of debt, and she ends up like saving somebody. She ends up saving them from like a car was about to hit him or something, some kind of danger, and she ends up saving them, and they're like, well, hey, come here to this place. And she goes to this place, and they're like, if you marry this guy who's like the heir, because I think it was him that she ended up saving was the male lead, and she finds out he's like the heir to this very wealthy, I don't know if it's a company or something along those lines, but they're like, if you marry him and you stick with him, we will pay off your family's debt. And she's like, done deal. And I am here for the shenanigans. It is an age gap manga. It doesn't seem too bad. She is, I think, like 17 or 18, but I just feel like this is going to be so funny. I have seen the translator share how she's really enjoyed this. I saw somebody else, Violet, she's talked about how this was such a huge win for One Piece books, and I think this is a shorter series. I know it's completed, but I do think it's around 10 volumes, I think, with this one. And so even though I don't know a lot about it, I was here for for it. I was here for it to see because she's trying to, I think it was like she makes a bet or something of I'm gonna make you fall in love with me. And I admit I do like that kind of trope. I do like seeing that kind of trope, and I think that is what's gonna happen here. And she has like no romantic experience, it seems, though. So I think it's gonna be really funny and a really good time. This one I do need to go ahead and pre-order. I mean, I want to pre-order all of these, but like I do like locking in my pre-order earlier than later. Don't ask me why. Maybe that just makes me more excited. But yeah, I can't wait to read this one and see all of the humor and the funny moments. It seems amazing. And for number 10, I am saying the 31st Consort. Now, I did mention when I did the manga news video that this wasn't something that was originally on my bingo board, but I had read chapter 1 for free on Bookwalker in the past, loved what I read, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we got this physically. And I am very, very excited. It's already up for pre-order, actually. It's about this young woman. She lives at home with her 2 brothers and she has a good life. She's a good life, but they need another consort for the king. And her brother's like, you would be the 31st, which means the king would only visit you on the 31st of each month. Well, she decides to go, and she reminds me of a farmer so much, because when she goes, they take her to the cottage where she's gonna be living. Things are a little bit run down, the grass is overgrown, and she's like, this is perfect. The grass is perfect for soil, or the soil's perfect for growing. And that's what she does. She grows things. I want to know how the king reacts, because that is where I read up to, and it just seems so cute. My cup of tea. Very excited for this one. And I'm sorry, I keep repeating that phrase, but I genuinely just like 2025 has felt like such a big year with a whole bunch of my favorites or things I've really liked what I've checked out are coming into physical print. And this was easily another one that I was very, very stoked for. I can't wait to see where things go and read ahead. I feel like it's a really good one if you're looking for I'd say sort of like a tough girl around the edges who's very down to earth. And I feel like a lot of the heroines, I'd say a lot of the heroines I have featured are down to earth, but I don't know, there's felt something very special about this one, and was really, really excited that Yen Press licensed it, even though like I really didn't see much excitement for this, but I'm like, this at that time, it was my number 2 win for that weekend. But as an honorable mention here, okay, my biggest license win of that weekend was Villains Are Destined to Die, the web novel coming physically in print. And I just had to mention that because I am so excited. I'm gonna leave the manga news video here of when I talked about it, because I squealed, I laughed, I had a great time. It was just so much hype for this, and I'm really, really excited that Ice Press is bringing it to us in English. Like, yes, I'm definitely gonna be getting. One other thing that I did want to mention for an honorable mention, didn't mean to say that twice. I did want to feature the TokyoPop titles that are releasing next year. I was like, Laura, you can only choose one out of the 5, and I was like, oh, I'm struggling. So I'm just gonna feature these because I am very curious about all of these, and I do like featuring not just say 7 Seas or Yen Press and Kodacha, but other publishers as well. So they do have things that are coming that I am also very interested in. But definitely when it comes to the top 10 I've shared today, those are the ones I'm so excited for and can't wait to pre-order or have already pre-ordered at this point. But I would love to hear from you, friends. What are some Shoujosei titles that you were super pumped for? Let me know down below. Are you excited for any of these as well? Let me know what you plan and hope to get next year. I would love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!